Hello everyone, nubkeks here, top of the morning to you, and welcome back to Nub Raids. We're on the test server to check out the most Irish champion ever added to the game, Brand Oak Padraig, St. Patrick. It's St. Patrick. Look at him, he looks exactly like St. Patrick. This is exactly what everyone in Ireland looks like. We all have green beards. This is him. It's gotta be, for sure, in the Sylvan Watcher faction. I'm gonna be looking at him in today's video because he is extremely, extremely good. And I don't know, I'm hopeful. What do you think? I am hopeful we could see him as a guaranteed champion for St. Patrick's Day. I mean, that's in like just under 2 weeks or so. Yeah, it could happen, right? It could. We're also gonna have some fun Irish facts in today's video because, you know, we can't do a video on St. Patrick and not give you some fun Irish facts. So here we go. First fact is it's one of the best and or worst, depending on how you look at it, Irish phrases. One that my mother uses sometimes as well, and it's quite unfortunate. This one, the advent of the old internet and the social medias has made this one quite embarrassing. Irish people use the word jizz to mean get up and go. So, for example, right here, we had, this was a few years ago, where you had the Taoiseach, right, the Prime Minister, basically, well, I've gone the wrong way, of Ireland, Enda Kenny, was retiring, and one of the opposition party leaders for Sinn Féin, Gerry Adams, Gerry Adams told Enda Kenny that he will miss him, especially his entertaining tales, optimistic energy, and jizz. So yes, there's a nice Irish fact for you. Like, we were watching this. We visited my parents, I think, a couple of years ago on St. Patrick's Day, and we were like had the festival, St. Patrick's Day festival, the parade on the TV, and of course my mother says, "Oh, this new presenter, she's great, full of jizz." So there you go, some nice Irish facts. And you have to try and keep a straight face. Snake root. Yeah, it's St. Pat. He got rid of, this is fact, right? Got rid of all the snakes from Ireland. That's why there's no snakes in Ireland. Snake root. Attacks one enemy. 25 goes to 50% chance to decrease the cooldown of a random ally skill by 2 turns. Actually a great A1. It's not reliable, but it does actually help. It will smooth out your runs. It will make them a bit faster. It's actually a really nice A1. His A2, this is the big money move. Actually, so is his A3. Honestly, all of his moves are kind of money moves. They're all amazing. Weird Spores, 4-turn cooldown, ally attack, right? Teams up with all allies to attack a single enemy. It also fully restores all allies destroyed max HP and puts a continuous heal buff on all allies for 2 turns. One of the better ally attacks in the game, especially because his A1 is quite good. So this is huge, you know, like I forever regret skipping the Lanathril fusion. Because I was kind of thinking, you know, ally attack, it's nice, but is it that nice? Well, ally attack is actually fantastic. Obviously, for Fire Knight, it is amazing. Lots of Doom Tower bosses, it's amazing. Can be used in Arena. Actually extremely good for Hydra as well. Ally attack, you definitely want to have, you know, a couple of champs on your team that have this move. Then, this is another big thing. Inspiring Rhythm, 3-turn cooldown when booked. Fills the turn meters of all allies by 20%, then removes all debuffs from all allies and puts a 30% increased speed buff on all allies for 2 turns. Again, this is amazing. You now have an ally attack champion with increased speed. Ally attack with increased speed. It's sort of, you know, you just throw in a couple of freezers, maybe someone with freeze on their A1, and you've got a really strong core for Fire Knight hard team, right? You really, really want to get increased speed into your Fire Knight hard team. What better way to bring it in than with your ally attacker? It's amazing. It's also got a full cleanse, just cause, why not? So good. And then he's got an amazing passive as well, Grand Oak's Magic. Every time he takes a turn, he puts a buff on each ally depending on their type. Increase attack for attack, increase defense for defense, increase accuracy for support, and a shield for HP allies. A little bit sad, he gives himself increased accuracy because he's a support, but nothing he does requires accuracy, so that's a little sad. But, I mean, look, no matter what damage dealer you bring in, he's going to give them a buff that they need to hit harder, and that's absolutely massive. 25% speed in dungeons. Aura, again, it just screams Fire Knight hard. And I've given him Phantom Touch Blessing with 1 star to help with that. Take it down. So, how have we built him? What are we going to do? So I've actually put him in Reflex, and then with as much speed as possible. That's the goal, right? Was just to make him take as many turns as possible and do as many ally attacks as possible. Simple and straightforward. So I have him at over 300 speed. He actually has a little bit of damage baked in as well. For his masteries, we've given him War Master. We're making his buffs last longer. We're giving him Turn Meter when his buffs expire. Again, even another chance to get some cooldown reduction. So, yeah, it's a fairly simple build. It's just go as fast as you can and try to get some cooldown reduction in your kit. Or you could run Relentless maybe. There's lots of different options there. Lots of things that you can do. So, let's jump into some runs, shall we? Let's go to Fire Knight first. All right, here we are for Fire Knight, and I threw together this team I thought is a fairly accessible team. That's absolutely fantastic. We've got the ally attack from him. We've got ally attack for Farrakhan. I would obviously prefer to have, Lanathril, someone with a full team ally attack. Farrakhan doesn't include himself. Lady Mikage would be great, but I don't have her. So we're using Farrakhan. We've actually got Neldor. He's a really cool champ. He can freeze on his A1. And whenever an ally places freeze, he can join in with his default skill. So that's going to be very helpful for us to keep freezing the boss. We've got Yakarl, who's got freezes, but importantly, his decreased speed for the boss. And then we've got Newt, who has, again, the triple hit freeze A1 and the triple hit max HP nuke. So perfect for it. Let's dive in and let's go. This team is not quite 100%. Because, you could have freezes resisted by the boss. If enough freezes are resisted, you just get unlucky. It could go badly. Neldor is amazing, but, he's got the chance to join in. He's got the chance to freeze. You can have really bad luck, potentially, with Neldor, and he won't do his stuff. But I've run a good few tests, and it works really, really well. If you want this team to be 100%, you just turn off Newt's A3. Just have him only A1. But it goes way faster if you turn his A3 on. And I think you could build these champs with much higher speed, and it would probably be 100% successful no matter what. But, for me, can't be arsed building my champs with all over 300 speed. That's very intensive. And funny enough, Fire Knight, it's not even that great to farm anymore. Like, I'd much rather farm Ice Golem or Sand Devil or Phantom Shogun these days. Anyway, so we come in, as you can see, the waves are really no problem. We rip the first wave apart with the ally attacks. We turn both the ally attacks off on wave 2. But between Yakarl and Neldor, they are going to... Even Newt does pretty good damage. They're going to rip through this wave. No problem at all. Riho is very easy to freeze, so she won't ever do her cleanse, which could be dangerous. But, with the builds we've got here, it's no problem. We get to the boss. Now, we slam in both ally attacks to take down the shield. Now, sadly, and what would make this run go faster would be blessings on these champions. Like, I've got no blessings on these two guys over here, which lowers their damage. And if we brought in Phantom Touch, we would actually be knocking down the shield, and it would give Neldor more of a chance to do his thing. But there we go. We get the shield down. Then we go in with the decreased speed and the freeze. Newt goes in. We set Newt to open with his A1 to make sure we get the triple hit freeze in there. And you can see now we've got decreased speed on the boss. And yeah, now hopefully we should be good. We're getting some decreased turn meter from the guys. Newt actually proc Relentless, got an extra turn, which makes it just even more consistent. And there you go. Sadly, this is going to be a bit of a slower run. What makes this run real fast, I actually don't have enough accuracy built on Farrakhan, but and he's not 100% chance to land it. But if he lands decreased defense, like on his first A1 of the boss, this run goes blisteringly fast. Now, if we're slow, I've had runs where you never land decreased defense, and if you never land it, the run takes probably about 3 minutes, maybe 3.5 minutes or so. It does vary a little bit depending on your luck, like depending on where the A1 from Grand Oak goes. Like, does St. Patrick reduce the cooldown of Blessed Bash or not? Does he reduce the cooldown of the ally attack or not? Those things, make it vary a little bit. Here we go, Blessed Bash, that should be it. So we're coming in at like 2 minutes 40, which is, it's real solid. It's real easy. It's straightforward. Again, everyone can pull Farrakhan. Everyone can pull Neldor. That could be hard to do. Yakarl is from the clan shop. Newt was a fusion. It's just a question of, can you get Padraig? You don't need Padraig. Well, actually, to tell you the truth, with this team, you kind of do. What does he do here that is so special? Could you use any other ally attack champion? And the answer is no, you can't. Why? Nobody else is bringing increased speed. You'd have to switch up your team. You would have to bring in like a Razelvarg, or you'd have to bring in Zenogre, Blade Master, something like that, right? One of the someone with multi-hits, that does bring an increased speed, but then that changes up the team because you'd be dropping either somebody with freeze or yeah, whatever. Again, having an ally attack with increased speed is just absolutely fantastic. This is what I did yesterday. This was the fastest run I got from, I did a few test runs, like, I don't know, maybe 10 or so. The fastest was 2 minutes and 9 seconds. That was with unlimited frames. Right now we're with 60 frames per second. So yeah, unlimited frames per second and some good luck, you're looking at like a 2-minute run, right? That's where Farrakhan lands the decreased defense right at the start. But yeah, look, Padraig, he's given increased attack to your Carl and Neldor. He makes them hit way harder. He can give cooldown reduction to your Carl and to Newt and even to Farrakhan, which is great. It's just it's a lovely team. It works super well. It is amazing. Do you know what else is amazing? No, it's not jizz. It's Irish cuisine. Before we jump on to the next thing, let me show you some Irish foods. You might be thinking, Nub, Guinness, right? Or beef and Guinness stew. And yes, those things are nice, but let me show you the real heart of Irish food. First of all, we've got the chicken fillet roll, right? Here we go. This is a good one. The nation's favorite from Centra, the classic chicken fillet roll. What you get? You get yourself a baguette. A baguette is a traditional type of Irish bread, obviously. You slap in some breaded chicken fillets, or like probably deep fried, I suppose, in there. And then typically you could have lettuce, tomatoes, cheese, potentially onions or coleslaw, mayonnaise, that sort of stuff. Classic. The nation's favorite. It's fantastic. There we go, the chicken fillet baguette. Putting bread on your chicken, so you've got bread inside of bread. This is the Irish way, folks. What else do we have? We've got, of course, apparently this is a British thing as well. I see a bunch of like British things here, but we've got the crisp sandwich. Fantastic. You gotta have your crisp sandwich. So yeah, what you do, you get some bread. Actually, no, it'd be more like this. Preferably, it's your cheap ass supermarket bread. Preferably a pack-a-tato, Irish crisp, and stick it. Now, I think cheese and onion is probably more popular. I'm more of a salt and vinegar person. And you slap them, butter up your bread, slap some crisps in it, and it's delicious. Yeah, it's great. And then finally, we have a new invention. Actually, there's a Chinese restaurant in the town my girlfriend comes from, Bagnallstown, out in County Carlow in Ireland. And this Chinese restaurant claims to have invented the spice bag. This is Ireland's newest invention. It's absolutely amazing. Well, that's a very pretty picture. And that's more realistic. What is a spice bag? If you come to Ireland, you got to try one. Get it from a Chinese takeaway, where it is. Why is there singing in that one? Let's change the music. It's chips, like deep fried chips. You've got deep fried breaded chicken. You've got usually peppers, onions, chilies. Lots of salt, sometimes actually a bit of sugar, and then Chinese 5-spice. Never use Chinese 5-spice for anything, but you use it for this, and it's amazing. Can also often come with, it could easily be like this. There you go. You can see like the onions and the chilies and all that. Curry sauce, quite common to go with it as well. Usually looks like this. It's in back. It's absolutely amazing. It's like the best fast food ever. It's addictive. I'm telling you guys, you got to try Spice Bag if you ever come to Ireland. Really using, it's a fusion, really, isn't it, of traditional Chinese cooking and traditional Irish foods. Comes together to the Irish Chinese restaurant Spice Bag. Irish cooking is usually like, okay, how can we get something that's like really cheap but filling? Usually it's a whole lot of like carbs, right? Cheap and filling that we can put together as people that have absolutely zero skills in cooking. That's what Irish cuisine is, honestly. But yeah, like that was Grand Oak Padraig there. I think he's also, real good in... it can be real good against Doom Tower bosses. Like, we come in here. I thought this would be kind of fun. We put in the reworked Little Miss Annie for this one. That could be kind of interesting. And we've got some single target damage. Again, a couple of ally attack champions coming into this. A little bit awkward with this one. I did put in Razzlevarg when I was testing this out. And it's slightly awkward because... Mr. Razzlevarg comes in and he actually boosts turn meter, which does boost the turn meter for the Griffin. I'm not 100% sure if this one will work. I guess we'll find out. Ooh, the boss, he's already getting some extra stacks. This one might not quite work. I guess we'll find out soon. But yeah, again, in this sort of team, whenever St. Patrick takes a turn, he's going to give the buffs that we want onto our damage dealers, which is nice. Oh, little Miss Annie's gonna... No, I speed tuned it wrong. She did play date without increased attack. It's tragic. He's also gonna heal us up, try keep our team alive, which is great. He's gonna cleanse off debuffs. Yeah, again, give cooldown reduction to the other champions, etc, etc. Oh man, I did test this a couple of times. Usually I just run Rotus here, so it looks like we might actually die. It's gonna be kind of close. Here we go. We've got the ally attack. That should do some damage. Again, the danger here is Razzlevarg's A1 boost turn meter, which is boosting up the boss. Oh no, Patrick! No, he's dead! But yeah, broadly speaking, concept is, it's simple enough. And this would apply to many different bosses, you know, just slapping in your ally attack champion where it's good. The big one, obviously, is Fire Knight. Both Fire Knight normal and Fire Knight hard, he's going to be extremely good. You know, he's essentially right. If you take a super apothecary in terms of the speed boosting, or even like a Morrigan or Lysandra in terms of speed boosting, but then you add in the ally attack as well, I think we'll fail. I think. Razzlevarg, he's surviving through some weak hits. He missed the leech on the boss, and that's bad. Razzlevarg, can you do it? It's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. We have... Kreela gets one more turn, it should do it. Kreela. Soul Reap? Oh, no, maybe one more turn after that. Kreela does have Soul Reap. We will do it. So you could build a better version of this team, obviously, but the point was just to show that he will be generally useful against stuff like we don't have Dark Fae. He could be real strong against Dark Fae. Really, really strong. I don't have access to Dark Fae right now. He could be good against, you know, almost anything, really, honestly, in the game for progression. The big thing, the big reason to pull him, though, there's no question. You think about the dungeon speed aura, it's all about the Fire Knight. Like, he'll be nice for Dragon Slayer, he'd be nice for Sand Devil. You know, he'd be nice in different parts. I mean, maybe you could speed tune him for Phantom Shogun's Grove. Seems difficult, but maybe you could, because he does have a cleanse, but it's with turn meter boost, so that seems hard. It's mainly Fire Knight. He'll be fine for progressing through the others, but probably not part of speed teams there. And you could totally bring him into the arena as well if you wanted as your ally attack champion. Again, he's not best in class there. He's really best in class for Fire Knight, but he will do the job just fine. So, yeah, let's actually show you the setup I have for this Fire Knight run if you want to replicate it for yourself. So very, very simple what we did. We've got Padraig, so he is going to open with ally attack and turn it off. Turn it off on wave 2, and then priority 1 on the ally attack on the boss. Farrakhan, similar, open, but turn off the ally attack for the waves. We get to the boss, we'll turn off Brand of Shame, and we'll priority 1 on the ally attack. Neldor, he is going to save his AoE for wave 2. On wave 2, I don't know why I turned this off, this doesn't need to be off. On wave 2, he's gonna priority his AoE, I suppose. We should probably set that as priority 1. And on the boss, I actually turned off his other moves and just had him do his A1. Now, you could, with some setups, I think, have him actually do his A2, because he puts decrease attack, which would mean if the boss did get a turn, like you could run maybe lower speeds or something, and maybe a shield set or bolster set on somebody, and then you could live the boss counterattack with the decrease attack. And honestly, like with the cooldown reduction on these guys, they're both in reflex, by the way, they could... Yeah, you could absolutely take the boss down, no problem. Again, I'll build more accuracy on Farrakhan for his A1, though. And again, it would be very easy to live. If you get some blessings, it's going to reduce the damage the boss does. It's going to up the damage you do to the boss. It's going to make this much easier as well. Anyway, that's Neldor. Neldor is in Savage. Yakarl is also in Savage, basically. So he's 271 speed with damage that we can get. And yeah, he's going to open but turn off Glaciate in wave 1. On wave 2, we're going to turn off Blizzard Rider, and then on the boss, priority 1 on Blizzard Rider for the decreased speed and the freeze. And then Newt, he's coming in, can do what he wants in wave 1 and wave 2. We come to the boss, he'll open with his A1, we'll turn off his A2, we'll priority 1 on the Blessed Bash, and that's it. Let me show you the really fast run here. Here we go. So like we get to the boss and you'll see we just like slam through. But there we go, guys. That is him. That's St. Patrick. I think he's a really strong champion to get. He is... Yeah, again, let's bear in mind, there could easily be more stages of Fire Knight Hard in the future. Like, I would be surprised if it doesn't go up to, like, stage 20 or stage 25 even eventually. That's definitely what I would expect. And he is going to carry through and be really good in those stages. Like, he's going to work so well. He really will. So, yeah, that's him. It's St. Patrick. He's a monster. Newt's going in. Yeah, he's going to take this down pretty much no problem. There he goes. The cleanse could also be useful if you did build a sort of you know, take one hit from the Fire Knight, he debuffs you at like decreased speed, I think. He can cleanse it off with his A2, which is kind of insane. So lots of things there. So yeah, we get the decreased speed fairly early this time. There we go. We've actually got cooldown. We're into an ally attack. And we're slamming. The boss is not long for this world. Damage from Neldor really adds up. He's got a cool animation on his A1 as well. There we go. Blessed Bash is in again. Fantastic. And then it's probably, yeah, an ally attack to finish the boss off. There it is. Kaboom! Boss is down. That was the fastest run I got. Yeah, Padraig. Is he worth going for if he's a guaranteed, guys? If you got the shards, almost definitely. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Slán go fóill.